Hey techies, welcome back to another video in this Java playlist. In this video, we will be seeing about while loops and do while loops. In the previous video, we have seen about for loops and how it is working. So in this video, we will be seeing going through on while loops and do while loops and some of the problems that are being related to those loops. And we will be seeing some of the common errors that most of the beginners would do, so we can correct it. So we will be moving on to the video. First we will see the syntax of the while loop. For that we will be seeing in that whiteboard. Okay, first the syntax is the while, that's a keyword. Within that while you have to give conditions. After that, within the block of code you have to do the updation part. And one more thing, the initialization have to be done before the while loop. Okay, the initialization have to be done first. After that we have to give the while loop conditions, and after that we have to update it. So in the for loop we have seen that all of them are not needed. But if we go on to the while loop, let me see in this program. For example, if I write while and if I give any printing statement, it won't work, it will throw some error. See, we have to give some condition within the while loop. Okay, let me compare it to for loop. We just have to give 2 colons, after that a curly brace. Before that I have to give some space here. See here, if I give this empty condition without any initialization and any updation and any condition, this still works. It throws some error because there is a while loop before it, so that's why it shows some error. So if I remove it, it won't throw any errors. Okay, for the while loop the condition is mandatory, but for the for loop all of them are optional, but we have to, if you want to run any programs, you have to give conditions. So condition is mandatory for every program that has to be done. Then see here, for example, if we want to run any programs, like if I want to print 1 to n, as I said before, we have to know the starting point, the ending point, as well as the steps. Same condition here. First the starting point is 1, after that the ending point, I less than or equals 10. After that I will print within the for loop. After that I have to updation, so I plus plus. See, first I will come here, I will become 1 and it will check 1 less than or equals 10. It is true. And then the output console 1 will be printed, I value will become 2, 2 less than or equals 10 will become true, and 2 will be printed, I will become 3, 3 less than or equals 10, it is true, then 3 will be printed, and so on. It goes up to 10, 10 less than or equals 10, it is true, then 10 will be printed. After that 11 less than or equals 10, it is false, so it will get out of the loop, so the program will ends. Okay, same as the for loop. In this for loop we will give all of them within a single parenthesis, but in while loop we have to initialize it somewhere. After that we have to write the code within the while loop and the updation part. So we will run the program in the VS Code. Okay, then I'll get the input from the user. After that First, while, before that we have to do initialization. So for that I have given int I equals 1. Then while I less than or equals 10, the loop have to run, or else we can simply say I less than 11. Then here we have to print it. After that I have to increment the I value by 1. This is the steps of the program that is given by the initialization. This is the starting point, and if this condition fails, that means this is the ending point. Okay, now if we run it, then I am giving 13. I got the value of 10. If I give n here, then if I run it again and give any values like 12, I'll get the input up to n minus 1. So then now we will see how to print the numbers in the reverse order in the while loop. So as I said before, the main things we need to know that in the loops are the starting point, the ending point, after that the steps. Starting point is the initialization part, ending point is the conditional part, the steps are the updation part. Okay, now we will see in the whiteboard how to write the pseudocode for that. First, the initialization, int I equals 10. Next, the condition, if I is greater than 0, that you can print, that means all the positive numbers. Then printing statement, I minus minus. Okay, it's simple. So we will code in the Visual Studio Code. First, the initialization part. After that, the while loop condition. After that, the updation part, I minus minus. Okay, now let's run. We got 10 to 1 in the reverse order. So as I said before, why it is used to, why is it, as I said before, the while loop is why it is used for the count, that you don't know how many times the loop will run. For example, let me see here. Let us take a program for counting the digits in a number. For example, there is a number called 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, like that. I need to count this number. There are 7 digits in this number. But while we are using the code, that means when we used to code, that you don't know how many digits the user will be given. For example, the user may give 1 or 12 or 13 or 1, 2, 4, like that. He may give how many numbers he want. So we don't know how many times the loop will run. Okay, for that, how can we do this? We will be using modulus to count this and remove 1 by 1 digits. Okay, first we will see how to do that in the program, and we will know how it's working in the back end. So let me see. For example, I am take input as 4, 3 and 2, 1. This is a number 4321. In this number, I need to count the digits. There are 4 digits in this. So first I will using the while loop. For that, in this while loop, I am giving a condition of n is, that means this number is not equal 0. I will tell you why I am giving n not equal 0 here. First, we will know how to get the last digit of a number. So for that, we will be using the modulus operator. As we have teach before that, if you use the modulus operator, it will give the remainder value. For example, if I use 12 and divided with 3, this is the remainder. So if you want the last digit of a number, for example, there is a number called 1, 2, 3, 4. So what you can do, if you divide a number with 10, then your remainder will be the last digit. Let me check. There is a number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 123 times, that means 1230. We got the last digit as the remainder. Okay, now you can ask how I can get this number. For that, this number is 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want the last number, you need to divide it with 10 using the modulus operator. So if you want the one digit that before that, you just have to remove this 4, and if you use this modulus operator, you will get the 3. And if you want 2, you just need to remove this 3, and this 12 you have to do this modulus operator. Till then you have to do. When it becomes 0, the loop will stop. Okay. So there is number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now first I will get this number 4. Then if I want to remove the last digit of a number, I simply divide it with 10. See here, the same number I am teaching it 1, 2, 3, 4, and I am using 10. You will get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 0, remainder as 4. See here, you have removed the last digit. In here, you got the remainder as the last digit. So if you normally divide using 10, you will remove the last digit. If you use modulus operator, you will get the last digit. So we will first see in the compiler. For example, I am taking int n equals the same 1, 2, 3, 4 number, and I want to print n modulus 10. After that, n divided by 10. Okay, if I run it, see here, I got the last digit 4 out of the 1, 2, 3, 4. And this 1, 2, 3, 4, if I use normal division, I will remove the last digit. So now what I can do, simply if I do n equals n by 10, that means I have removed this 4. So simply we will get the remainder of 3, and the next quotient will be 12. See, we got the remainder is 3 and the quotient is 12. If I divide it with 100, we will get the remainder is 2 and the quotient is 1. Okay, now if I divide it with 1000, then I will get the remainder as 1, After that we will get the quotient as 0, because if you divide the number that is less than 10 using the 10, it will become point some values. So in the integer division it will be directly returning the 0. Is that clear? So we will be moving on to the counting of digits. So now what I can do, as I have explained before, if there is a number that is less than 10, okay, if a number that is less than 10, if you divide the number with 10, you will get 0. If you get the remainder, you will get the same number. Okay, for example, if I take 4 and divide by 10, I will get 0 as the quotient. If I use modulus operator, I will get 4 as the remainder. Okay. So next we will move on to the counting of digits using the while loop. As I said before, this number is less than 10, that means it's a single digit. So if a number becomes 0, that means the last digit is counted. Okay, so that's why I am using while n is not equal to 0. After that I am declaring a variable. For example, I am declaring the name as count equals 0. Okay, then I am increasing the count every one time for counting a digit. After that I am removing the last digit. Okay, first, for example, if I take a number called same number 4321, okay, now we will get 4321 not equal 0. It is true. So then what we will get here, the count will be incremented by 1. Then the n value will become 4321 by 10. Then that means we will get 432. 432 not equal 0 will return true. Then the count will be incremented by 1. Then 432 by 10 will return 43. Then 43 not equal 0. Then count will be incremented. Then the 43 will become 4. Then 4 not equal 0. Count will be incremented by 1. The current count is 4. Then 4 by 10 will return 0. So 0 not equal 0 will return false. So that time the loop will be cut out. We have counted the digit as 4. We have digits of 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have successfully counted using the while loop. That's why I have said, if you don't know the number of times the loop will be run, we will be using the while loop. So we will be counted in the compiler. So for that, I'll take input from the user. Instead of int, I'll make it as long. For that, because there may be 7-10 digits more than that, so that's why I'm using long. So then while n is not equal 0. Okay, after that, before that I'll declare a variable with the count of 0. Every time this loop true, that means it have at least one single digits. So then we increment the count. Then n equals n by 10, or we can simply say n divide equals 10. Okay, after that I'll be printing the output of count. So now let me run. I give a number in the compiler, that 1 to 0. We have 10 digits. Again I am running it with, I am giving some random numbers, for example like this. we have 8 digits. Again I am giving some random numbers. So that's why we have used the long, but even though wait, we have to give next long. Now I give the same one. See, now it's working. Again I am giving some random digits. It says okay, we have to run it. Some random digits. It says it have 15 digits. So if I give integer and change this next long into next int. Why before we didn't give any errors in the compiler is because the long can store long value and in the integer we can store less value. But for if you use integer and next long, that means it will show some error. Okay. Now I am giving some input, same as some 15 digits like this. I have some errors because it can't store that much amount of value. So that's why I said I am using long instead of integer. Okay, now we run with the same amount of values, like some 16 or 15 digits. Like this we got no errors. See, 18 digits also working. Okay, this is how we will be using the while loop to count the value, because we don't know how many times the loop will be run, and we may use this to write a game. For example, the guessing a name in between the range of numbers. For example, let me take, that's a random or secret number is there. There is a secret number. The secret number is 43. Okay. I have to check how many attempts the user gets to how many attempts the user is used to find the secret number. So for that you can simply use a while loop, and you can say you can get the input from the user, and if secret number is not equals the input you have given, that means it can run, it says attempt plus plus, because one attempt is used. After that I can guess, that means I am getting the guess from the user, that is the input again from the user. sc dot next int. Okay, for example, we can also give some hints, like if your guess is less than the secret number, that means it is too low. Else, if your guess is greater than secret number, that means it is too high. If it is not too high and too low, that means it is the same number. Else, you guessed with these many attempts. We are writing a program for a guessing number competition like that. So for that, first we will open the compiler, and first we will see what are the requirements. Okay, now then first we will create a scanner object. Scanner s1 equals new scanner. I have created a scanner class object. After that, first we need a secret number. Secret number. I am taking it as 47. Okay, then the user's guess. Initially I make it as negative some value. After that, first we have to tell that it's a number guessing game. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to give a input. Just the secret number in the range of 1 to 100. Okay, after that I am using the loop while the guess is not equals to the secret number. That means we have to run until the user gets the correct number. Okay, now we have to get the guess from the user. Guess is equals scanner dot next int. Okay, after that first we have, it is a first attempt, so at least there is a 1 attempt. Okay, for that we need to declare a variable attempts. Correct. After that attempts plus plus, it's his first attempt. If not, it will be increases until he finds it. If the guess is less than the secret number, you have to print lesser than the secret number. Else if the guess is greater than secret number, that means I can say parenthesis, after that I can simply say that greater than the secret number. Then if it is not greater and not less than that number, we can say that it is the same number. For that, congrats, you have find the secret number in the variable name, the count of the atoms plus the atoms. Okay, after that if the else case is done, that means he have found, so I am using the break. So now let me test this program. So it asks number guessing game, guess the secret number in the range of 1 to 100. I say 1, is this less than the, it says lesser than the secret number. Again 2, lesser than the secret number. then 45, lesser than the secret number 98, greater than the secret number then 78, greater than the secret number then 47. Chase, congrats, you have find the secret number in the 6 attempts. You have count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the 6th attempt, we have correctly guessed the number. So now you can have a good understanding why we are using while for and the for loops, because in the while loops you don't know how many times the loop will run. In the for loops you will know exactly how many times the loop will run. Okay. So then we can also write a program for example, password checking. If you can store the password, and after that if the password doesn't matches, you can simply say incorrect password, try again. And if you can limit it the attempts, for example maximum attempts like 3. If it is greater than the maximum attempts, that means you can say simply like your account is locked due to the incorrect password with the maximum number of attempts. Okay, so pause the video and try the program. If not, see this video and get some ideas about how to do that program. Okay, first we will see how to do that in the whiteboard. So for that, main thing we have to need the requirements. The requirements are first the correct password, right? For example, I make it as info techies. After that, I needed the maximum number of attempts. For example, I make it as 3. Then the initial attempts, that is 0. After that, we need some boolean value that if it is the attempts is greater than this maximum attempt, we can simply say that boolean login is equals, first we will declare it as false. If the password is correct, we can simply change it to true. Then we can use a while loop. If the attempts is less than maximum attempts, and that means not login, correct? If it is false, that means not login means it is true. If you not login then within the 3 attempts, it won't break, or else it will be break out of the loop. If you successfully logged in, that means it will become true. Then not true will become false. So that's why we have given the 2 conditions. We will get the string input from the user, the password, and they will increase the attempts if we can check the input is equals to the correct password. If it is true, we can make the login is true, then you can simply print login successful, or else we can say it is incorrect password, and within that I can give an option called if my attempts is less than 3, I can say try again, or else I can't say try again, correct? Because you have only maximum attempts of 3 times. After that, if not logged in, that means it will become false. Okay, if the logged in become true, that means it will false, it will get out. If it is still false, that means it will become true and it will print maximum attempts reached and account is locked. Okay, now we will write the program in the Visual Studio Code. Okay, first make sure to remember what are the requirements we needed. So I am creating another file for password checker dot java. I have created the class. Next, public static void main. Before that, I have to import the class. Import java dot util dot star. After that, we have to create a scanner object. Scanner s1 equals new scanner system dot in. After this, we have created the scanner class object. Now we have to know what are the requirements. First, the password string, the correct password. Okay, I am giving it as info techies. Next, I am giving the maximum atoms. Max atoms is 3. Okay, after that, the atoms you are gonna give to the user. We have to count that atoms how many times they have given. After that, a boolean value that they are logged in or not. They are logged in. First we have to initialize it as false. Logged in equals false. So we have gathered the requirements. The maximum number of atoms, the atom you are going to count, after that the correct password. Next, first we have to print that enter the password so they may know how it's working. I am naming it as secure login, like a website model. So we have given the secure login. After that, while atoms is less than maximum atoms and not logged in. Okay, and not logged in. I have given not logged in. After that, we have to tell them to enter the password. So for that, I am giving a printing statement, enter the password. After that, I am telling them how many atoms are there. So for that, attempt plus how many atoms because this is their first attempt. So currently the atoms are 0, then atoms plus 1. After that, we have to use parenthesis to add this because it will become string, or else we will know what is this concatenation in the string videos. So make sure to watch all the videos. In the next videos we will be seeing. After that I am giving out of the max atoms. Okay, enter the password. This is their atoms. It will tell how many atoms you are using. After that I'll use a string variable to take that. I'm just naming it as password equals s1 dot next line because their password maybe can have some spaces also, so that's why I have given this next line instead of next. After that they have used 1 atoms, that means we can increase the atoms by 1. Okay, atoms plus plus. Now we have got the password. After that we have to check if the password dot, we will be using a inbuilt method in the Java to check two strings are equal or not. For that we have to give the variable name dot equals, after that their password. It means the stored correct password. That is, for this correct password we have to give the small, then correct password. If it is equals to the correct password, then that means he successfully logged in. So I am making the logged in will become true because he is logged in. After that we have to print login successful. Okay, after that we can tell something like welcome. Then if the password is wrong, that means we have to use the else case. If the password is wrong, we have to print incorrect password. Okay, after that if the number of atoms is less than the maximum number of atoms, okay, we can say he has still some more atoms to do. So that's why we have to check the atoms is less than maximum number of atoms. Then if it is there, then print try again. Okay, after this if else case and the while loop, there are 3 times it will run. After that if not logged in, that means if it is not logged in, we have to print maximum number of limit or atoms exceeded. And your account is locked. Okay, this is it. Now we will check. Okay, this may be, you can take this as a project as well because it's just a password checking system. So now we will run it. Okay, enter the password out of the atoms. Wait, let me make it this. Now again we stop it and run it with some more strings like this. After that we will run, so it may look clear. Okay, after that we have to enter the password. I am just writing info. Okay, it says incorrect password, try again, and this is the second attempt. Then I am giving some values. It says again incorrect password, try again. I am giving some string. It says incorrect password and the maximum number of limit to the attempts is exceeded. So for that, in here limits or attempts executed. Okay, now it will look some clear. Again I am giving some wrong password within the compiler. After that I am giving the correct password and 40 keys. Now it says login successful and welcome. Okay, this is how we will be using the Java while loop to use a secure login project. Okay, we are just checking the number of that. First we will gather the requirements, maximum attempts, password, and that's it. These are the requirements that we need. After that we are just checking, and if it is, we will be just printing. So no more things. If you have any doubts regarding this if else, go and check out the previous videos we have posted on that, so you won't get any doubts regarding that. Okay, now we will be seeing a problem, a simple problem, how to reverse a number using the while loop. For that we will be using the same trick like we are used for counting the number. For that there is a number called 4321. What we have done, we have simply remove the every digit and count it from the backwards. Same we will do, just we will make this to first number and this to the second number and this to the third number and this to the fourth number. For that we can say first we will collect the numbers from the reverse order. For example 4321. Now I add it as 1, then I multiply it with 10, then I added this 2, then that means 10 plus 2 it will become 12. We have reversed these 2 digits. Then I am again multiply this value with 10, we will get 120. Then if I add it with 3, it is 123. We have reversed the number of last 3 digits. Again we will multiply this number with 10 and add 4 with it, we will get 1, 2, 3, 4. We have reversed 4, 3, 2, 1 to 1, 2, 3, 4. What we have done here, we have took the last digit, multiply it with 10 and add it with the after that second digit from the reverse. So then we will get 12. After that multiply with 10 again, then add it with it, we will get 1, 2, 3. After multiply with 10 and add it with 4, you will get 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, a simple logic. So we will be code in the Visual Studio Code. Before with that we will be seeing the pseudocode. Before that we will see the pseudocode. For that I get a number, for example int n equals 1, 2, 3, 4. After that I declare a variable sum with the value of 0. Then I am using a while loop with same condition, while n is not equal 0 for using the reverse. Then I use a variable, for example reminder equals, For that we have to get the last digit right, so that's why I am using this reminder. After that, n modulus 10. So now the last digit will be stored here. So then we have to add this sum equals sum into 10 times plus the remainder. Okay, we have multiply with 10 and add the remainder value. After that, what we have to do? Remove the last digit. So n equals n modulus n divided by 10. N equals n divided by 10. Okay. After that, we just have to print the value that is stored in the variable sum. So you will get 4321. Okay. Now we will see in the Visual Studio Code. Okay, then I will create a class reverse number dot java. Okay, then we have to use public static void main. Then I am importing the scanner class. For that, import java dot util dot star. After that, scanner s1 equals new scanner system dot in. I have created a scanner. Now I declare. Now I get the input from the user. The number that have to be reversed. Int n equals s1 dot next int. For that we have to use capital I for next int. Then I declare another variable sum equals 0 that will store the reverse number, or else I just make it as rev, so it makes a name that is related to that. After that, we will create the while loop. In this while loop, the same condition that we have used for counting a digits. So for that, n not equals 0, then I will create another variable that will store the remainder, that is if int n modulus 10. Modulus will return the last digit if you use 10. Then sum equals sum star 10 plus the remainder. That's the formula we have seen. It's a reverse. So change this to reversal. After that, we got the value. Then we have to remove that, the last digit. So n equals n modulus 10. Or else we can simply write n modulus equals 10. Okay. Then we just need to print the output. Row. Before that, we can simply check if the number is written or not. So for that, I have print the same number. Now if I check, like 1 2 3 4, this is the first number we have given as the input. We got 4321, the reverse number. So now we check it with another number like this. Now the number is entirely reversed. So using this, we can check if a number is a palindrome or not. Palindrome is nothing but, for example, if I take any example like a number 43234, it is a palindrome, and 121 is a palindrome, and 12321 is a palindrome. 1 is a palindrome, 2 is a palindrome, 3 is a palindrome, 7 is a palindrome, 9 is a palindrome, 8 is a palindrome, 11 is a palindrome, but 12 is not. 21 is not. But 121 is a palindrome. 111 is a palindrome. Now you may get the idea that from these examples you will get some idea what is palindrome. Palindrome is nothing but if a number is reversed, that means if I give 1, 2, 3, 4, if I reverse it, I will get 4, 3, 2, 1. And if I reverse 1 to 1, I will get 1 to 1. If I reverse 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, I will get 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 as well. So if you reverse a number and it will returns the same value, then that means it's a palindrome. Okay. In the same code, see here, in the Visual Studio Code, we'll use palindrome check. So I am creating another class, palindrome.java, palindrome.java. In this public static void main, so I will take my own number, for example int n equals sum 121. Then I need a copy of this number, so I store this the number in a copy variable. I'll explain it why. For example, we will take this reverse number, then I am trying to print the n value after this reversing calculation. Okay, now you will see, if I give any number, the n value will become 0 because it will reduce every single digits, and when it becomes 0, 0 not equal 0, the value will become, that loop will be terminated and the value will be reversed. So that's why before anything happens, we have to copy this value. Okay, after that, same as this reversing the number, I just need to copy this. Okay, after that I'll paste it here because nothing changes, I'm just reversing the number. Okay, after that we'll use if else. If the reverse value equals the copy value, that means it's a palindrome. It is a palindrome. If it is not palindrome, we just print it is not a palindrome. It is not a palindrome. Okay, now for this n, we will get input from the user. For that we have to import the scanner class. I am importing the scanner class, import java dot util dot scanner, or else simply I will make it to star. Then we have to create a scanner class object, scanner s1 equal to new scanner. Within that I have to give the arguments as the terminal inputs, so system.in. After that I'll declare a variable int n equals s1 dot next int. Now we will check the palindrome. I give 1 to 1, it says it's a palindrome, and if I give 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 something, it says it's out of bounds because we have given up to 12 digits, so just give 5 digits. It says it's a palindrome. I have simply and only given the palindrome value. After that I give this, it's not a palindrome. If we give a single digits, it's a palindrome. 1 is a palindrome and 3 is a palindrome. If you give any single digit inputs, it's a palindrome. Okay, it's a palindrome. And if I check 1 2 3, it is not a palindrome. We got the exact outputs. So this is how we simply reverse a number and how we check a number is a palindrome or not. So now we will be moving on to the next topic, do while. Now let us see the syntax of do while. So the syntax is nothing but do curly braces, the loop conditions, that means the loop that have to be executed, the code after this while and the condition. That means, for example, if I give any values, for example, I'll run in the Visual Studio Code that I remove all of this and I'm writing do sysout, and after that I'm printing hello, and here I am giving the condition while false. If I run this code, I'll get output as hello one time, because it will be executed one time. After that this while loop will be done. So that means even if the condition while is false, at least the loop will be worked one time. So most of the time we won't be using this do while loop. By using this do while loop, we will solve a problem. For example, there has to be ask something without even looking at the condition. So when that happens, we will be using the do while loop. Okay, for example, do is keyword that signals to run the block first. Okay, this will do this block of code. After that, the while condition will be checked. It is checked after the first execution, and if it is yes, then the semicolon. After that, the closing parenthesis is mandatory. Okay, that means after this do, there is a parenthesis. Within this parenthesis, we will be writing the block of code that has to be executed. After that, we have while keyword. If this condition is true, then it will happen. Okay, if not, that means if it fails, then this is only one time executed. For example, we have seen about the password checker, right? In the previous problem, we have seen about the password checking. In this password checker, see, we have used while loop. Before that, we have initialized. In this password checker, what we have done is, we have directly said while attempts is less than maximum attempts and not false, and we have used to print this. Instead of that, we can simply say do. Okay, then we can change this condition. For example, I'll simply remove this. Okay, and make it as do. After that, I just simply paste it here. Then we have to use a command here. Now see, it will first happen even if the condition is false. Okay, so that's when we will be using do while. We can use do while here also. There is no difference. The only difference is that it will run even if the condition is false. So I am giving some password, for example, like this, incorrect password, and some password, and some more password, and maximum number of limit exceeded. It works in the same way, but even if the condition fails, that means if this condition is false also, for example, if I directly give here false, okay, then if I run it again, it will ask for the password, and if I give the correct password, it will log in the first attempt. But see here, I have given the condition as false. So if I change back to the normal, then if I give false here within this while loop, it will throw some error because it says it's an unreachable statement. Why? Because it won't do anything, it's just a empty statement. So that's why we have given some condition instead of giving directly false. So that's, if you want to do at least one time of execution of a code, so that time you will be using the do while loop. Let us see one more example program. Now I'll create a menu driven calculator. For example, it's an industry standard program, so you can make it as a project as well in the core Java. So I'm creating another file. So for that I'm naming it as calculator.java. After that the class is created. So now we have to import the scanner. Import java.util.star. Then I have to create the main function. Within that I have to create the scanner class. I have created the scanner class. After that we have to store it as choice, because there is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, so for that we will make it as a project of n times running until it reaches fail. Okay, so that means if I give, I will store it as a integer value of choice. First choice means addition, second choice means subtraction, like that. So I am making it as choice. So after that I have to do something. So for that I have to print, for example I am naming it as infotech is calculator. After that I am giving some 3 equals, so it will look good. So another printing statements, those are for the choices. So within that, one for addition. Okay, I am giving the sample symbol, copying it. So after that I'll paste it here. Now I'll change these values and its subtraction, and the symbol is minus. After that third choice is multiplication and star. After that division, after division I have to give forward slash. Okay, now we have given these choices. After that I have to print one more thing, that is we have to exit, or else it will run. So then I am giving an alert, choose the choice 1 to 5. We have created the information. After printing this I have to get the input from the user. So after that choice equals s1 dot next int, we got the input. After that if choice is greater than or equals 1 and choice is less than or equals 4, that means in between the range of these 4 operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, if any one of them is happening, so that means I have to get 2 inputs from the user. So for that I will print enter the first number After that, enter the second number. In here, I'll create another variable. I'm naming it as number 1 s1 dot next int to store it. After that, number 2 equals s1 dot next int. Now I have got the two numbers. After that, before that, one more thing is there. If it is addition and subtraction, that means we don't need any float values. But for multiplication and division, we need float value. So the input may be decimal values, or else it in the float values like point values. So I am making it as double. So I have to change this next into next double. Next, again I am making this value as double and next into next double. So then remove these two parentheses. Now it's okay. After that, if you are following along with this playlist, we have already teach about switch cases. So we will be using switch cases here. Switch. After that, I am giving us choice. Okay. In the switch cases, first one is case 1. Case 1 is nothing but addition. So I am declaring another variable with double result. I am naming it as result. I am storing the value of 0 to initialize the value. After that, result equals number 1 plus number 2. Okay. If it is case 1, you will be just printing number 1 and number 2. So after that, I am printing it system.out.println. I am using next line here. If you use backward slash and n, it will move to the next line. That means it won't print in the same line. Instead of that, it will move to the next line. So after that, now we will be seeing about format specifiers. Okay. Format specifiers is nothing but we will be using this to store and print the value of the decimals that only we need. For example, if I take any value numbers like 25.345, now I only want to print one digit, then that time I will be using format specifiers. If you are familiar with C language, it is easy to understand, or else don't worry, just get along with it. It is simple. For that, you won't use system.out.println. Instead of that, you will be using system.out.printf. Using this printf, we have to give percentage. Okay. If you use this percentage symbol and use point and 2f, that means 2 digits after the points. Okay. I will get 2 digits after the point, and if I give, we have to give this within the double quotes, and if I give comma and the variable name, the syntax is modulus how many digits of floats you want. After that, give comma and the variable name, the value is stored. For example, I am giving number 1 or maybe result. Okay. So now I will be printing like a plus b equals result like that. So for that I will be printing system.out.printf, within that percentage point 2f, after that plus percentage point 2f for this b value, this is for a value, after that equals percentage point 2f, after that double quotes with comma, for example a comma b comma result. Okay, this is how we will be using. Now we will be explained in the Visual Studio Code. For example, I am using this next line to go to the next line. If you want, you can add it. I am adding it for my purpose. After that, percentage dot 2f for two values. After that, so after that again percentage dot 2f equals again percentage dot 2f. Now after that comma number 1 plus number 2, we don't have to use this, we have to use this comma operator after that result. See here, this first percentage 2f value will be get from this value, and this second value will be get from this value, and third value will be get from this value. Okay, after that don't forget to give break condition. Then we have to move on to case 2. Okay, now we just have to use system dot out dot printf is mandatory. We have to use format specifier here. After that point 2f, and before that we have to go to the next line. So for that I am using backward slash and n to go to the next line. After that first number 1 value, then plus percentage point 2f equals again percentage point 2f. In here, after that I have to give the values to this. So number 1 for the first value, and number 2 for the second value, and result for the third value. Okay, after that we have to use break here. Okay, now we will move on to the case 2. So I am just using this to paste it here. After that there are 5 cases, so I am pasting it 4 times. So we will change the values of this. The second case is case 2, it is subtraction. After that it's breaking. And third one is case 3, we have to multiply values. So after that in this we have to give minus and star. Instead of star I am giving x, so it will look good. So after that I am using case 4, and we don't need case 5 because we will be exiting. So for that we just need 4 cases. After that modulus, after that division. So now here for division I am using forward slash. After that I am changing it to forward slash. So that's it. After that we have to give default value, because instead of these 4 values or else 5 we have to do something. Okay, and one more thing is here, we have to do check that if the number 2 is not equals 0. Why? Because if it is 0, it will lead to infinite value. So for that, if number 2 is not equal 0, we have to do the operation. I'll paste that operation. Result equals just this case. In this we'll be dividing. After that we'll be breaking. Else we have to print something to the user. For that we have to print error dividing by 0 to throw a message to the user. After that I just need to break only once here. So I am using after the if or else block, so it will be break. After that we will be using one more condition here. After the if case we have to use else case. Okay, then else if the choice is not equals 5, that means if it is not within these numbers, then I can say that enter this out. I can say it's an invalid input because it is not in the range of the numbers we have given. Okay, just say invalid input. After that I'll give one more condition, that is we have to give while have to give some more condition here, that is that if choice is not equals 5, we will run it. Okay, if choice is not equal to 5, we will continuously run this loop, or else we will break and get out of the loop. Okay, then we will now check. Before that, for the every printing statement we have used /n for going to the next line. Okay, then we will run it. So it's running, it's entered. Now we will run it again. So it asks for the keys calculator, addition for 1, subtraction for 2, multiplication for 3, and division for 1 says, so we have some errors, we have to remove and change it. Then we will run it again. Okay, then again I am running it. Okay, now choose the choice in between 1 to 5. If I give 6, 5. Okay, if I give 6, it says invalid input. So I have give 5, so it is exited. So now I am giving 1 for addition. Enter the first number 12 and 32. It is printed. 12 plus 32 is 44. So after that we have to use /n for every printing statement here, so that it will go to the next line. /n and /n here as well. So now if we run it again, so I am choosing the choice of 3. First number is 12, second number is 32. Now we got the output. 12 cross 32 is 384. If I want 3 digits, I just simply change this to 0.3f. Now we will be divide. Okay, now I am running it again. I am choosing the choice of 4, 12, and if I try to divide it with 0, it says error dividing by 0. So again I am giving the choice of 4, then again first number is 12, second number is 32. Now see here we got 3 digit output. If I change this to 4 and again run it, it will ask for my choices from 1 to 5. The compiler stopped, so we will run it again. Yes, it's working now. 4, 12 and 32 have given the output of last 4 digits. Okay, then that's it for loops. In the next videos we'll be going on to the arrays. So that's it for the today's video. So we will be moving to the arrays and strings from the next videos. So make sure to watch every video so you won't get confused in between any videos. So if you like, so I would appreciate if you like this video and make sure to comment your doubts. So I will let you know in the next video that if you have any doubts, then I will be clearing in the next videos. So make sure to subscribe and click the bell icon for notifications. If I put any videos, you will get the notifications. Keep coding and keep growing.